Guys, Crystal here, the Pineapple Picker, and today I wanted to show you where I decided to open an antique booth. You really love these, huh? Show us. Point it, point it. You really love those, huh? They're beautiful and sparkly.
I'm gonna do a close up.
Okay. Careful. Like this too? Okay. All right, everybody, ignore the mess behind me. I am organizing and pricing and listing and all kinds of things right now. So I wanted to show you like the huge place where I decided to open an antique booth. And there are a couple of reasons why I ended up choosing the larger location. I had stopped in to look around and talk to the manager there. His name is Wes. He was a really nice guy. He had one booth left, and it was a partial booth. I had thought about doing a half booth, though there were none of those available anymore. When I contacted him originally, he had several that were available, but there was only one left when I got there. So I asked him to see it, and we went back and looked, and it's a decent sized booth, $175 a month, and then they take 10% of your sales. So a couple of reasons why I decided to go ahead and jump on that. One reason is because if you can see in the video, our booth is going to be on the very outside perimeter of this antique mall. So I kind of like that because when I go to an antique mall and they're huge like that, I tend to start on one side or the other. Now, it could be at a disadvantage if somebody starts at the other end, but I feel like if somebody starts at one or the other at this particular end, then they're gonna end up seeing our booth. Jackson is a little excited right now. I don't know why. So anyway, the location appealed to me in that way. I didn't want to be lost in the middle of all of it. Of course, when you first come in, it kind of is in the center. So there's like a center of it. And then those are probably pretty prime locations right there. But I would think that the perimeter would be pretty prime as well. So that appealed to me. Also, he was very open to Wes when I was speaking to him. He was very open to me putting whatever in my booth. Like he was like, you know, it's your booth, so you put what you want in there, you know, within reason. But you know, I can put my business cards in there. I can put whatever I want in there in terms of product. And he also was just perfectly fine with me filming for YouTube. So that's one of the things that I mentioned to him. And he was like, hey, you know, if it brings people in or, you know, markets the antique mall in general, I'm all about it. So that's another thing that I liked about this place is they definitely market the mall. They definitely do a lot of advertising. They do special promotions on certain weekends, things like that. So they are all about bringing people there. They're on social media, all of these things. So I am all about that. While I can see where the advantages would be at being in a smaller place, I definitely see like more traffic here, and I've been there several times in the last couple of days, and I've seen lots of people in and out, lots of people buying stuff, so I know that it's happening. Another thing that I liked about this place is they have a whole back area where there's tons of, it's their shipping department, but it's also where you can bring stuff in. They have tons of dollies and flatbeds and carts and things like that to bring your product in. So I like that a lot. They have cleaning supplies, tools, ladders, all of those things that you would need to, you know, build your booth and maintain it. I still plan on bringing some of my own, there's Allie. I still plan on bringing some of my own cleaning supplies and things like that in, but I really like that. So let's see, there was one more thing. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about and I can't remember.
Ooh, this is shiny. Can I show them?
Yeah.
Guys, this is so shiny. I'm going to do a close up for you.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that did catch me off guard here is that they do want you to use their tags. And I didn't think about that before I rented the space, but I can see where that would be advantageous for the mall itself, because everyone has certain information, you know, your booth number, there's a code that they use to to make sure it's you and pay you. So I can see where it would need to be sort of, you know, all cohesive to the point where if someone is ringing you up, they can see all the information and they know who to allot that money to.
In case you didn't know, this is Bobo, my cute doggy, and then I'm Jojo.
You're not Jojo.
I'm just pretending to be Jojo. I'm just kidding, guys.
Ow, ow.
Sorry. Yeah, my mom's being so jealous today.
Okay, so one more thing. I did talk to Wes about what they tend to sell there at the that particular antique mall. And he said that primitive items sell really well there. You know, it just depends on who walks in, of course, but he also talked to, I told him that I sell on eBay, and he said, well, then you're familiar with, you know, that you can't ask a price that's so high that people aren't willing to pay it. So I don't know, you know, if he's had people in there that, you know, have priced things really high. I know I can say that sometimes when I walk through there, I've noticed that some people do have really high prices on things. As a reseller, I couldn't make money on really anything in there. And I'm kind of looking at pricing my items. I mean, I want to make money, but at the same time, I'm looking to price things around, you know, what they're selling for on eBay. To me, that adds value when somebody's in there and they're looking, and maybe they're comping things, or maybe they know what they're worth in general. But you know, even if I'm selling a little bit below retail, that'll give them the incentive to go ahead and make that purchase. And if it's right there in their hands and they're touching it, they don't have to, sorry. Hey, do you need to go for a walk? Is that your problem? Give me just a minute, okay? Give me just a minute. You know, if they have it right there in their hands and they don't have to pay shipping, then, you know, then that could be an incentive also for them to go ahead and make the purchase. There are tons of yard sales and tons of estate sales going on this weekend. So hopefully I can find some really good stuff to put into the booth and to sell on eBay, of course. So I like that I'm gonna have these two mindsets going on. I like multitasking like that. I'm just like that, I don't know. So anyway, I will try to get a little bit of footage of that this weekend to show you guys next week. And yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Our booth is J05 in the Williamsburg Antique Mall here in Williamsburg, Virginia. So look for that. I'll take you guys through as I'm setting up next week, and you know, kind of show you guys the finished product. And oh, one of the other things that I like about this place is they send you daily emails on what you've sold. So that's awesome in my opinion. So that way every day you can take a look at what has sold out of your booth, you know, if you didn't sell anything or, you know, any of that. So you know what to bring in to replace things. It's not a guessing game. Yeah, so that's great. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, all that helps me out. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I'm still looking for anybody who has advice on selling on Etsy or Mercari. I still haven't looked into that. I've been so busy with other things, but I really am looking to possibly go with a second online platform for some of these items that I'm going to be bringing in, because I really feel like eBay is, I don't know, like for antique and vintage items, sometimes I feel like the pricing is a little bit lower on those than it should be. So, I mean, maybe Etsy is the place to be, because I feel like a lot of people are selling on there, especially when they like vintage and antique. So, yeah, comment below if you have an opinion either way, or if you have advice. And thank you guys, and I will see you soon. Take care.